All the great things are simple, and many can be expressed in a single word of freedom, justice, honor, duty, mercy, hope. I have had to eat my own words many times, and I have found it a very nourishing diet. But who in war will not of his laugh amid the skulls? To achieve the extirpation of Nazi tyranny there are no lengths of violence to which we will not go. I hate Indians. They are a beastly people with a beastly religion. I have taken more out of alcohol than alcohol has taken out of me. The difference between mere management and leadership is communication. There but for the grace of God goes God. We contend that for a nation to try to tax itself into prosperity is like a man standing in a bucket and trying to lift himself up by the handle. A prisoner of war is a man who tries to kill you and fails, and then asks you not to kill him. Do not criticize your government when out of the country. Never cease to do so when at home. Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. There is no doubt that it is around the family and the home that all the greatest virtues, the most dominating virtues of human, are created, strengthened, and maintained. I began my education at a very early age, in fact, right after I left college. We will mete out to the Germans the measure and more than the measure that they have meted out to us. We will have no truce or parley with you, or the grisly gang who work your wicked will. You do your worst, and we will do our best. Difficulties mastered are opportunities won. Never run away from anything. Never. If we are together, nothing is impossible. If we are divided, all will fail. One must regard the hyphen as a blemish to be avoided wherever possible. There comes a special moment in everyone's life, a moment for which that person was born. That special opportunity, when he seizes it, will fulfill his mission, a mission for which he is uniquely qualified. In that moment, he will find greatness. It is his finest hour. The United Nations was set up not to get us to heaven, but only to save us from hell. The first duty of a university is to teach wisdom, not trade, character, not technicalities. You must put your head into the lion's mouth if the performance is to be a success. The length of this document defends it well against the risk of its being read. Without execution, thinking is mere idleness. If you simply take up the attitude of defending a mistake, there will no hope of improvement. The man who stands firm in order to protect the sand castle can never be relied upon, for he has given away his common sense. Never flinch, never weary, never despair. Life is a test in this world, a place of trial. Life is a test in this world, a place of trial. Always the problems, or it may be the same problem, will be presented to every generation in different forms. Sir, we must beware of needless innovation, especially when guided by logic. Battles are won by slaughter and maneuver. The greater the general, the more he contributes in maneuver, the less he demands in slaughter. There comes into the life of every man a task for which he and he alone is uniquely suited. What a shame if that moment finds him either unwilling or unprepared for that which would become his finest hour. Where does the family start? It starts with a young man falling in love with a girl. No superior alternative has yet been found. Democracy means that if the doorbell rings in the early hours, it is likely to be the milkman. No more let us alter or falter or palter, from Malta to Yalta, and Yalta to Malta. There is nothing wrong with change if it is in the right direction. Everyone has a right to pronounce foreign names as he chooses. A fanatic is one who cannot change his mind and will not change the subject. Fear is a reaction. Courage is a decision. We have always found the Irish a bit odd. They refuse to be English. Painting is a companion with whom one may walk a great part of life's journey. If you don't have any enemies in life, you have never stood up for anything. Show me a young conservative, and I'll show you someone with no heart. Show me an old liberal, and I'll show you someone with no brains. We are masters of the unsaid words, but slaves of those we let slip out. Most people hate the taste of beer, to begin with. It is, however, a prejudice that many people have been able to overcome. It is not given to human beings, happily for them, for otherwise life would be intolerable, to foresee or to predict to any large extent the unfolding course of events. We proceeded systematically, village by village, and we destroyed the houses, filled up the wells, blew down the towers, cut down the shady trees, burned the crops, and broke the reservoirs in punitive devastation. Success in life is the ability to move from one mistake to another without losing enthusiasm. Headmasters have powers at their disposal with which prime ministers have never yet been invested. An iron curtain has descended over Europe. When you feel you cannot continue in your position for another minute, and all that is in human power has been done, that is the moment when the enemy is most exhausted, and when one step forward will give you the fruits of the struggle you have borne. There are few virtues that the Poles do not possess, and there are few errors they have ever avoided. One might as well legalize sodomy as recognize the Bolsheviks. We must be very careful not to assign this deliverance the attributes of a victory. Wars are not won by evacuations. Russian may seem narrow-minded, impudent, or even stupid people, but can only pray for those who are against them. I propose that 100,000 degenerate Britons should be forcibly sterilized and others put in labor camps to halt the decline of the British race. We are plunged in a long and grievous struggle, but all will come right if we all work together to the end. Leadership is the intelligent use of power. Lady Nancy Astor Winston, if you were my husband, I would poison your tea. Churchill Nancy, if I were your husband, I would drink it. My tastes are simple. I am easily satisfied with the best. Your greatest fears are created by your imagination. Don't give in to them. A joke is a very serious thing.